Welcome, my friend, to the Director's Treatment Masterclass course, in which I am going to teach you the most important skill that you can master as a filmmaker, and that is selling your creative vision and ideas to clients via director treatments. Now, if you haven't watched the first episode of the treatments course before, I highly recommend you give it a spin. I'll put a link up there somewhere, also in the link in the description. But yeah, let's dive into the second chapter, which is called Master the Basics. And this one will dive more in the right mindset that you need to adopt when you want to win the pitch via director treatments. And if we haven't met before, by the way, my name is Robin Piré. I have over a decade of experience creating director treatments and directing all sorts of projects, from documentaries to short films, music videos for names such as Adidas, Absolut Vodka, Hardwell, Snoop Dogg. My work has been viewed more than, I think, 300 million. It has accumulated more than 300 million views by now. Has played in cinemas around the world. Has been sold on DVDs, etc. So I hope there will be a nugget of knowledge gold for you in this second episode. But let's dive into my computer and get the second episode started. So we are inside my computer, chapter 2, Master the Basics. And before we dive in, a quick recap of what I have covered in the first chapter. So treatments are digital documents that help filmmakers present their creative vision and ideas to a client with the goal of getting hired as the project director. So as I explained in the first episode, just like you have to go to an architect or an interior designer when you want to, make changes to your house, and they present you with a design of the exterior, or with an interior design with an interior layout of what the final result could look like. It works the same for filmmakers, whereby the filmmaker, the film director in this case, will present a client with a treatment, a visual ID, to give a visual ID of what the final result could look like according to them. Now, the goal of this course is to help everyone from beginner to expert to sell their creative vision and ideas successfully via treatments, so they can get more clients, create more films, make more money, and build a sustainable career. So I hope that there is something in this course to help you get to the next level, some little learning. I want to highlight as well that I am not a filmmaking guru, although I have a long list of projects that I've worked on and I have many years of experience. I don't have any Oscars or Emmys on the shelf, so you don't have to agree with everything that I'm about to share with you. But if you can take away one learning from this course that will help you win the pitch and give your career a boost, this will be worth it for you. So I hope that this one little nugget to help you get your first client, then this project that you've done for the client will attract new clients that like what you've done for the previous client. And then, the cycle of building a career, a long-lasting career, hopefully, has been started, and everything resonated from something that hopefully will be hidden within this course. So here is a quick overview of what I'm about to cover in this second chapter. So first off, a business mindset. Then I'm going to dive into the business basics, because a business mindset is necessary to win the pitch, but to understand what a business mindset is, we first need to really filter down the business basics. So what is a business actually? What is the purpose of a business? And we'll go from there. Then the pitching basics. So how can you, when you adopt this business mindset and you understand the business basics, how can you use that in your advantage when pitching ideas to clients? And then a quick summary at the end. So if you want to get access to all the secret stuff that I don't share anywhere else, make sure to sign up to my newsletter, robinpiré.com/newsletter, because here is where I share all the secret stuff. Then as well, if you want to stay up to date with all the ins and outs, make sure to subscribe, the drill, follow for exclusive content on my YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. The handle is @robinpiré. Quick warning though, this is the most important video of the entire course at this stage. So if you haven't watched the previous ones, go back and give them a watch. And also with this one, watch it from beginning to end without skipping any parts. And a little pro tip, if you want to save yourself some time, watch it in double speed. All right, a business mindset. So let's dive into a business mindset and why this is so important to master. And to adopt this mindset, if you want to be successful with pitching ideas using treatments. So an artist mindset. Many people, myself included, start filmmaking as a hobby and enjoy the creative freedom to create whatever they want to create. However, when you transition from a hobbyist to a professional, the goal shifts from following your own creative desires to meeting the expectations of those who hire you. Now, I personally have struggled with this for so long because I basically saw clients as financial donators for my creative vision. I thought, well, you hire me as the artist. I know what is best for you. So I'm going to pitch you an idea, what I think is the best creative solution for whatever it is that you're looking for. It was absolutely very arrogant of myself to approach it like that. And as a result, I also lost a lot of pitches, of course. Because I approached every job with an artist mindset. And I have seen so many filmmakers do the same as well. Like, I want to change how people perceive this. I want to change this and that. And I want to bring more of this in the world. And I think that is a very good starting point. But if you want to succeed as a work for hire and you want someone else to give you their money, then, you need to look at the opportunity from their perspective. Just like it, otherwise it's just like if you, let's say you have saved up all the money in the world to create your dream home, and then the architect just says, well, this is just my vision, my ideas. You can take this or go somewhere else, and then you'll be like, but dude, this is my house. I have to live there. And this works like the same for filmmaking as well. It's like when a client gives you their money, they want something that serves them and not just serves your portfolio. And yeah, so it is important to shift from an artist mindset to a business mindset, because the film business is called the film business for a reason. It's not called let's make art. Like Nike and McDonald's, you are here to make money and thrive, to succeed as a work for hire and win the pitch via treatments. The first step is to adopt a business mindset and think of yourself not just as an artist or freelancer, but as running a business with one employee, yourself. Now, why is this so important? Because we will dive a little bit after this one into what a business actually is and what is the goal of a business. And when you see what you're doing as a business with yourself as the CEO, then the whole game changes. But if you don't approach it with a business mindset, then the consequence of not doing it, if you don't approach filmmaking with a business mindset, pitching for jobs via treatments will cost you a lot of time, money, frustration, and sleepless nights. Speaking from first-hand experience. But if you approach pitching with a business mindset, you'll understand how to win the pitch and have a lot more fun, peace, and success along the way. So if you approach it with the right mindset and see yourself as the business and approach it as the business, as a business opportunity, in which I will dive into in a minute. Then everything is so much easier, and it will be so much more of a relaxing experience instead of being a very needy person who needs that job or needs that specific client or that brand name in your portfolio, because then that will lead to the next thing. And that is basically how I saw it for a long time before I started to succeed. And if you don't change this, if you say, well, Robin, this all sounds stupid, or this is not me, I am just a filmmaker, I'm just a creative guy, I just make films, I just have a camera, I don't want to approach it as a business, I just see everything as a creative outlet to the world. And it happens to be that I lose a lot of pitches, but I take that for granted. If that is your thing, totally fine. As I mentioned at the beginning, you don't have to agree with everything I'm sharing. I just want to give you a new perspective, a new way that might help you succeed in the long run. So if you don't do this, if you stick with your same old thinking, then that will result in the same old results, and you'll be stuck in this loop for, I think for forever. And I hope, really, really, really hope from the bottom of my heart that we can change that loop and cut the circle and get to a new level. So what is the business basics? Because it all sounds fun. Like, say, okay, cool. I move away from the freelance and the artist mindset. I see myself as I have a company. I am the CEO. I work for this company. But what actually is a business? So I believe a business, in essence, is one thing, and that is money in. That is what a business is, money in. Because if the money only goes out, then the business cannot exist. Because you always have costs. You always have, if you have an office, you have a lease, or a mortgage, or you have electricity, or you have water, you have employees, you have gear, you have depreciation of the gear, you have insurance, you have maybe a car, you have so many stuff that costs money. So if there's no money coming in and only money flowing out, then the business cannot exist. So the only purpose of a business is money in. So I'm not talking about all the other stuff, not hobby stuff, not all the other legal structures that are possible, but just for a business, assuming that you want to do this as a work for hire professionally, the goal is money in. Now, what has always been funny to me is that we always say, let's make some money. But when you think about it, we cannot make money. There's only like one institution that can make money, and that is the government. The government can create money. So how do we make money? How do we get money into the business? That is the big question. And if we drill it down to how to getting money into the business, let me give you a story. So when COVID conquered the world, I realized that I was basically selling my time for money as a filmmaker all the time. And I thought, what if I create something online that can sell infinitely? So I built it once and it can sell infinite amount of times. And that's when I wrote my first ebook about creating directed treatments. This is in 2021. And then for me to really understand how, I wrote this ebook and I was like, so now actually how do I sell this stuff actually? How do I get people to buy it? And I started looking at my own life. So how do when do I spend money during the day? So I started analyzing how I spend my money and when would I give a business my money. And I realized that I gave people my money when they solved my problem. And so the goal of your business is other people need to give you their money. The question is how? By solving a problem. So every time, for example, when I was hungry, a business would sell me the ingredients for food so I can cook the food, and in return I gave them my money. So then the business made money. But if I didn't have time to go to the supermarket to buy food, then another business would sell me a prepared meal, and in exchange I would give them my money. So they solved my problem once more. Now, if I didn't have time to pick up the meal myself, the prepared meal, I'll go to the restaurant, for example. So first, hungry, cook the food myself, didn't have time, go to a restaurant to buy a prepared meal. But if I didn't have time to go to a restaurant, then a delivery service would bring the meal to me. So again, they would solve my problem and I would give them my money in return. So every time I had a current situation and then I had a desired situation. So I was hungry and I needed to be well fed. And then someone else would sell me a solution. And you can apply this on everything. So let's say I am overweight and I want to get into shape. Then a personal trainer can sell me a training program or a nutrition program. If I am broke, someone else can try to sell me a course or a financial service to help me go from broke to rich, I assume. So every successful business helped me go from my current situation to my desired situation by solving my problems. And to summarize this, so solve someone's problem and they will buy your solution. Now, why is this so important? And how does this translate to treatments and filmmaking? To achieve success as a work-for-hire filmmaker, It is crucial to understand that clients don't hire you just because you have won lots of awards and used the latest and greatest tools. They hire you because they think you're the best problem solver, the best person to solve their problem and get them the results they are looking for. If they knew how to solve their problem themselves, they wouldn't have asked you to pitch a solution. So think about it. If they knew how to create a music video themselves, why would they ask you to make a music video? So, or if they could make a commercial themselves, then why would they hire you to create a commercial? Or if they could create a new horror movie themselves, why would they hire you to make a film? See, there is something there. They cannot do it themselves. They don't have the expertise, the skills, the knowledge, the tools to do it themselves. So that's why they search for someone who has the expertise to solve their problem. So we need to make a mindset shift. So if you only see your work as art, creating winning treatments and selling your ideas will be hard. The real value of what you do is not in the images you create, but in the solution that those images provide. Now, this sounds funky, because how does this really translate to filmmaking again? I will dive a little bit deeper into the next slide with this, but when you buy a coffee, you most likely don't buy it just because you like the taste of coffee. It is probably also because you get a caffeine shot of that. But the real reason is not the caffeine shot. The real reason is because you feel tired, or you have an important test in an hour and you need to be extra focused. So that is a real reason why you buy a coffee. And it works the same for filmmaking. So artists or a company just doesn't want a commercial. They want what the commercial does for them, which is sell more stuff. And that is basically a solution to their problem. So they don't know how to create a commercial. They don't have the time, tool, skills, or network to bring that commercial to life. They start looking for an expert who does. You don't see your work as art, but as a solution to their problem. And you basically have to sell a solution. And that is what a treatment actually does. It sells a solution. So if you take a solution selling approach, you are the most important party in the deal, not the people on the other side of the table. They need you and you don't need them, even though you are pitching for the deal. They need you to solve their problem and you are the prize. Now, I didn't understand this for a very long time because I was a very needy director, a needy filmmaker, and I saw all these cool brands as cool additions to my portfolio, and therefore became very needy. I saw myself as an artist, approached it with an artistic mindset, pitched something that would be super artistic, something that didn't exist on Vimeo yet, and basically the wrong approach you can take. So I wanted to tell a cool story about an actor that you probably know, which is George Clooney. And he went through the exact same experience when he came to Hollywood and tried to become a successful director, because he for himself struggled very long with the same issue that I struggled with as well. So George Clooney spent his first years in Hollywood getting rejected at auditions. He wanted the producers and directors to like him, but they didn't, and it hurt. He blamed the system for not seeing how good he was. Everything changed for Clooney when he tried a new perspective. He realized that casting is an obstacle for the producers too. They need to find somebody, and they're all hoping that the next person to walk in the room is the right somebody. Auditions were a chance to solve their problems, not his. From Clooney's new perspective, he was the solution. He wasn't going to be someone groveling for a shot. He was someone with something special to offer. He was the answer to their prayers, not the other way around. That was what he began projecting in his auditions, not exclusively his acting skills, but that he was the man for the job. that he understood what the casting directors and producers were looking for in a specific role, and that he would deliver it in each and every situation, in pre-production, on camera, and during promotion. So this is exactly the same for pitching ideas via treatments. If we switch back to the architect world and building your dream home, then you want to create a beautiful home, but you don't have the time, tools, skills, and network to bring that dream home to life. You can, of course, but that is going to take so much longer, and you will have to go through so many different challenges yourself. So the easier path is to hire somebody, an expert who has a lot of experience and knows what the consequences are if you go for a specific design choice. And for filmmaking, it works exactly the same. They want a cool commercial and they need you, just like the casting directors need great people. Otherwise, they cannot bring their movie to life. And with people who are looking for a commercial, a film, a documentary, they need good filmmakers. They need good experts at solving their problem. Otherwise, the problem cannot be solved. So you are the prize, my friend. You are the prize. And if you then have a business mindset, by selling a solution to their problem and serve that client instead of saying, hey, I do this, I'm available. And they're like, yeah, but I don't care because you don't solve my problem. And I see this happen so many times, also on Facebook groups of filmmakers saying, hey, I do light, I am available for a job. Is somebody looking for a job? Well, that is basically like, yeah, it is not as effective. So you want to be valuable to someone and not available. So client plus you is result. They need you. You are the prize. Remember that your business is the prize, and you can help them solve their problem. By solving their problem, they will give you the money. You build a flourishing business. So solve a problem. So how does this again translate to the filmmaking world? So artists don't want a cool music video. They want to expand their reach so they can sell more music, merchandise, or concert tickets, and make more money for their business. So artists are in the business for making money as well. Business exists, money in, and that works the same for artists. So instead of saying, hey, cool creative brief, this is the budget, blah, 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 you need to understand what their problem is. So instead of saying, hey, I have this cool idea, we're going to put you in a room and film you there with some dancers and blah, 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 blah. Instead of just presenting them with an idea, the goal is to ask them questions. Okay, so why do you want a music video? Why is it important to do this project? And then they might say, well, we have this tour coming up and we noticed that the ticket sales is low, and we want to reach a specific demographic within this country that we are going to go to. And then you'll be like, okay, so who is this demographic then? And it is a demographic that loves more bubbling kind of music. Okay, so maybe we need to do something with the music video concept that aligns with what this demographic is looking for. And then you suddenly, instead of saying, hey, this is a cool idea, this is what I have in mind, you can help them solve their problem. So their business makes more money because business money in. So commercial, a brand is not interested in having a great commercial. It wants to sell more of its products or services to drive more revenue to the business. So instead of presenting a cool approach for a commercial or a cool idea, if you have the opportunity, the goal is to find out what actually is the goal of this commercial, what does the commercial need to do, and then align your ideas with the goal. So the client is enthusiastic about your idea and think, this person understands what I want to do, why I actually want this commercial, and then you can help them achieve what they are looking for. And at the end of the day, they will probably hire you again because you help them achieve the results that they were looking for. But it works the same for films as well, because Netflix, Amazon, HBO, Universal, and 20th Century Fox are not interested in original ideas and beautiful film scripts. They want more subscribers or sell tickets to the cinema so their business makes more money. Also, they are in existence because money in. So, of course, a film is their tool to get more money in. But at the end of the day, they don't really care if your film ID has never been made before. What they care about is there an audience for this film? That's why there are so many films made from books or stories, from news stories, for example. That's why you see so many times that when something shocking happens in the news, it will be translated into a film script, because then the audience already knows about this story, and then the likelihood of them subscribing to the channel or to the platform that creates this movie or go to the cinema is so much more likely. So you have to see these film studios as like basically banks. So they put money into a project with the hopes of making a return on that investment. That's why the Harry Potter movies are also so important. You know, there was a book, the audience was massive, and then on top of the books, they created films and merchandise, etc. So the audience is already there, and then they could expand on that, and then the likelihood of them making a return on that investment is so much bigger. So that's why these studios are willing to invest hundreds of millions of dollars into these movies, because the likelihood of them making billions of dollars is so much higher than, hey, I have this cool idea. It has never been done before. I don't know if it's going to work, but, you know, I'm a great artist. I know how to do this stuff. I have done a lot of cool projects. It just doesn't work like that. It is money in at the end of the day. And then the last one, a TV station doesn't want a great TV show. A TV station wants engaging content that drives a lot of viewers to their network so they can charge more money for advertisement and sponsor deals. So their business makes more money. So also a TV station is in business for money in, and their way is to have content like TV shows, programs, Big Brother like programs that drive a lot of viewers. So the advertisement slots are extremely expensive. So the pitching basics. So how does this translate to pitching ideas to clients using treatments? So treatments, or a pitch deck, is a tool for presenting a business solution to a business problem and presenting yourself as the problem solver. It outlines how you will solve the problem in exchange for money. So just like the architect, you present them with a visual representation based on all the input that they have given you, and present them with something of how the final result could look like. So if you go to the architect and you'll say, well, I need my wardrobes to be like this because I have a child on the way and I doesn't want the child to reach to the specific things that are hidden in there. So, and if you completely ignore this, well, this was very important for the client, then they will feel like, this doesn't solve my problem. You know, I like the design, cool idea, but it doesn't serve what I'm looking for. And it works the same for filmmaking. So if you can find out why they want this commercial music video, and they say, well, we want to reach this specific demographic for the artist tour, and it's very important for this demographic that there is this dance scene in there, because these dance moves are specifically hot and engaging within this part of the world in which we have invested millions of dollars to do a tour. Then ignoring that is like creating a death sentence for your treatment. But if you include it and you find a creative way to incorporate that in your ID, within your treatment, then they'll be like, this person understands what we want. Let's give him a shot. And why so many pitches fail is many pitches fail because they don't present a solution to a problem. They suggest the wrong solution for the wrong problem, or it is presented to someone who doesn't need that solution, which is basically like trying to sell sand to people who lie on the beach because they don't need sand. Or you try to pitch, but if you try to pitch them water on a hot day, then they'll be highly likely to take that offer from you. So, why many pitches fail, especially also with the filmmaking world, is because they just present a cool or original idea, while the film studio is not looking for that kind of ideas. And it works the same for commercials or music videos. So people might pitch a pitch a cool idea, but that doesn't align with the goal of what the commercial music video or documentary has to do. So always have the business mindset is money in. I do that by solving the problem for someone else. So in order for me to solve your problem, I need to understand what your problem is and then try to frame my idea in a way that it solves your problem. So I will also want to highlight that there are different ways of pitching, because you might say, well, Robin, it all sounds cool, but I would love to pitch for a movie. And that is not covered within the presentation yet. When I pitch a movie idea, original movie idea, how do I know what the problem actually is? So I want to highlight that there are two different types of pitches. So when it comes to pitching, there are two types, solicited and unsolicited. Although different, the goal is similar: to sell a problem or to sell a solution to a problem and make the audience take action. So let's first dive into solicited pitching. So solicited pitching happens when someone asks you for a solution to their problem. They usually give you a project brief that includes the budget, creative guidelines, and deadline. And to succeed with this kind of pitch, you need to understand the problem and why it needs fixing. Then you must offer a solution that solves the problem. So this is the creative agency that comes to you with a cool, this is the campaign idea, this is the idea for the commercial, can you make us ID look cool? And then you'll be like, oh yeah, sure. What does the commercial need to do? Or if that is not detailed within in their brief, of course, but it probably needs to sell something, because otherwise there is no commercial. But you know, the creative agency might have specific goals from their side, or they have contacted you because you have done something similar before and they would love your expertise in helping them solve their problem. So, but this starts with, I want to build my dream house. I go to an architect and the architect needs to help me solve my problem. This is the same, a brand or a music video artist or whatever a TV station wants, has an idea for a commercial, music video, TV show, whatever, and they are looking for someone to help that bring that their idea to life. So the goal of your treatment when you pitch it with the solicited pitching is to make the other person perceive your offer as the best solution to their problem, so they will buy it. Now the positive is the client has a problem that needs to be fixed. You just need to figure out what it is, why they want to solve it, and whether you can help them. Because not all problems have to be solved by you. And this will also be something that I will cover in the bonus of this course, in the Win Without Pitching. But not every problem is yours to solve. You know, it is better to filter down a bit and say, well, this is my niche, and say I'm a commercial director and I don't also do music videos and documentaries and commercials, because I can speak from first-hand experience myself as well. I have done this, and it became so hard to get my projects greenlit because, you know, you face so much more competition. It is better to become world-class at one thing instead of, you know, trying to be everything to everyone. And I see this happen so many times as well, as that filmmakers want to be this one-stop shop, and you'll have to compete with a lot of very big companies who have a lot more financial resources and human resources to fall back on. So it is better to become world-class at one thing and say no to specific projects and charge more for the projects for which you can actually solve the problem on a world-class level. But the negative is that you are probably not the only person they have asked to pitch a solution to their problem. So especially, for example, with the music video world, as I mentioned in the previous video as well, when you pitch for a music video, the music label has a problem. They need a music video to promote the artist or to promote the song. They don't know how to do that, so they reach out to film directors or production companies. But you probably won't be the only one pitching for that opportunity. And then we also have unsolicited pitching. So how does this work? So usually it is like a filmmaker, a screenwriter, or a production company, doesn't really matter, who has created a treatment or a film script or a spec script or whatever you like to call it. And they will reach out to a studio a big studio or to a government-owned film fund, and they will say, hey, I have this cool idea for a movie, blah, 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 blah. And then in the hopes of the government or the studio or the film fund say, yeah, sure, here you have my money. And then you will deliver a movie. That's the dream scenario, of course. But the cool thing is the unsolicited pitching. This is when you pitch an idea without being asked to pitch an idea. To succeed, you have to identify a problem or an opportunity to improve things for the other person's business. Then propose a strong solution. For this approach to succeed, emphasize how your idea can help the business grow. If the benefits and urgency of your solution aren't clear, the client may not be interested in buying it. So if you pitch for a government fund that is just there to support artists as a sort of cultural thing, then this doesn't really apply. Then you can, use an agent or whatever to take more of an artistic route. But if you take a different approach and you want to succeed with this, then it is very important that you do something that is an improvement for the other person's business. So let's say I am pitching a commercial for a hotel. Then I can just say, well, I have this cool idea for a commercial for your hotel. I noticed on your YouTube channel that you don't have a commercial. And then they'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll think about it. And you'll probably never hear of them again. But if you can share numbers and data and present that in your treatment, and then you say, okay, well, I have noticed on your YouTube channel that you guys don't use commercials. Well, I have created commercials for these and these companies before, and because they now have a commercial, the business has increased by 14%. They have 13% more bookings because the clients who saw this commercial engaged with the hotel more, and they had a better understanding of what the rooms looked like. And, they also used Reels and created an interactive campaign around this. And so, in essence, their business grew. And that is exactly what I'm trying to say here is there is an opportunity for growth, for business growth, so more money in. When you pitch this to the other party, then they'll be like, okay, so there is an advantage in getting this commercial instead of just having a cool commercial. And the likelihood of them buying is so much higher than just presenting a cool original idea. So the goal is to get an investor on board, attract talent, onboard crew, and make the other person buy whatever you want, whatever you have to offer. So you can also, when you have a cool idea for a film, you can also just send it to actors, for example, first, who like the idea, and then modify the pitch a bit and send it to crew members to get them on board. And then you go to investors who say with who you can present like, okay, so I already have this talent on board. This talent represents this repertoire of films which have done so much more at the box office. So they put $1 million in, they got 10 million out because this director was involved or these crew members were involved. So it's all like risk reduction. It is all like I always find it funny, when you, for example, go to the supermarket, I always like to buy Chiquita bananas because I like the taste. To me personally is better than other bananas, but from the outside the banana all looks the same, but just because there's this quality label on top of it, I buy that brand, and you have to see it with film pitches as well. So that's why. Cinematographers, for example, they have this ASC title, so American Society of Cinematographers. So it's like a quality label. It's their Chiquita label that says, okay, this person is guaranteed quality. And if you can have people on board, crew members on board, a track record on board that represents a quality label, then it is a risk reduction of the person that you are trying to pitch to. So the upside, you have more creative freedom in the beginning, and you're likely not facing the same amount of competition as solicited pitching. So because you start from scratch essentially, you have more creative freedom, And the amount of competition is a lot less. But, especially when you're pitching for movies, studios receive scripts and ideas every day. So, the downside is you can't make someone buy what you have to offer. You can only take advantage of what they already want. If you ignore this rule, your business will fail. So, you can pitch a comedy to a production company or to a investor who only invests in horror movies. You can only facilitate what they want. You can only solve a problem that is already there, or a need, or a business opportunity, or something that helps their business, their existing business, make more money. All right, let's summarize this video. So, the number one business rule: the goal of a business is money in. All activity in your business should be to make money today or in the near future. If you don't focus on money in, you will run out of money and your business cannot exist. Since you can't create money, you'll have to convince others to give you their money by solving their problems. So treatments, the goal of your business is to get money in. You do that by solving their problems. And with the business mindset of solving the problem, you cannot fail. So solve the problem. In the film industry, people often focus too much on the work they do instead of the results they achieve for the client. A winning treatment is a tool to present a business solution to someone's business problem and present yourself as the problem solver. So artists are not looking for a cool music video idea. They are looking for an idea that serves the purpose of why they want the music video. So the creative agency and their client, which is the brand, is not looking for a simple, cool idea. No, they are looking for someone who can bring the campaign idea to life in a way that it helps the brand achieve the goal that they are looking for. And so to do that, you need to make a mindset shift. If you want to win the pitch, you need to see your creative service not as an artistic expression, but as a solution you're selling. Once you make that mindset shift, you will suddenly understand that clients need you more than you need them. Without you, the problem solver, the problem cannot be solved. So you are the prize here. Never, never, never forget that. And you are the prize only because you help them solve their problems. And your treatment is your presentation of how you can help them solve their problem. Now, in the next videos, I will dive deeper into how can we formulate this in a treatment. What is the framework that you need to use in order to sell your solution successfully to a client? Because there is a structure that you need to follow. You can't just say, well, yeah, you can, of course, but I would highly suggest that you use a framework, because that will make it a lot easier to approach every opportunity successfully, easy and scalable. So it will remove a lot of the chaos, and you can then even reframe your treatment for different persons and different goals and whatever. So I wanted to finish this second episode with a beautiful quote by Elon Musk, that we all know as the CEO of Tesla. You get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve. So if you can solve cancer, man, people are willing to pay you a lot of money. If you are capable of bringing people on a dying planet to Mars, people are willing to pay you a lot of money. If you can sell people an electric car because the fossil fuels, because the planet is running out of fossil fuels, people are willing to pay you a lot of money. So you get paid in direct proportion to the difficulty of the problems you solve. So if you can solve a very valuable problem for someone, something that is very hard to be replaced, then people are willing to pay you a lot of money. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to, you have a business. The goal of your business is money in. How do you do that? By solving other people's problems so they can give you their money. And I think that's it for the second episode. I hope There is a nugget of knowledge gold somewhere in here. As I mentioned before, you don't have to agree with everything that I'm sharing. I had a lot of resistance against this idea of business problem solving, because I saw myself as an artist basically, and I had a tough time making that mindset shift. But once I did it, everything became so much more relaxed, and it was no longer about me, but about, okay, how can I help other people get what they want so I can get what I want. Yeah, that's it. I hope to see you in the next one. I hope you learned something. Don't forget, watch the links in the description for resources, etc. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. And see you in the next one.